Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. Everybody needs a little TLC. And I am Cedric LaFleur, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Talk Leadership with Cedric is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. The law of contribution is our guiding leadership principle, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. See, you can't give what you don't have. So first, you must grow yourself in order to grow others. Now, we believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help others. So tonight, folks, tonight, we have another dynamic leader with us, and I'm excited to have her here with me. Well, hello, Sophia. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Well, thank you. So we have Miss Sophia Karlsson with us, and folks, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest. So let me do a proper introduction of her. So Sophia is a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team, with a special focus on leadership and talent development. Her passion is seeing the unique potential in every person. She finds herself naturally drawn to people who want to continue and develop their lives because she's convinced that everyone has a world champion living or sleeping inside of them. That great awakening that she wants to just turn that fire on. That's awesome, right? She spent the last 20 years in the financial industry, and she had a goal to climb the classic corporate ladder. You know what that ladder is like, right? But she realized more and more for each year how much more engagement and heart she had for the people that she worked with over financial products and regulations, right? So what she's seen is that throughout her career is knowing that our strengths and our growth potential empowers us. It takes us to another level. It's that fire that burns inside that changes us. And she loves to take people on a journey where they discover their natural strengths and how they can build a career without sacrificing their happiness. Without sacrificing their happiness, folks. That is awesome. Now, she's from Sweden. That's where the accent comes from. And she studied in Kenya, in France, and Japan. You see, she's an international woman. She ended up in Luxembourg, where she currently lives. She has lived there for 14 years. She's been married to her husband for 11 years, and they have two children, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Well, that is just awesome. So welcome again, Sophia, to the show.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So let's
The way you put it seems like I'm a very interesting person.
You are an interesting international woman. So I'm excited to talk with you tonight. So, I read a little bit about your background, but, we always like our audience like to hear directly from you, about your leadership journey and what brought you to got you to where you are today.
Yeah. So I think I was always interested in leadership because of my personality. I like taking the lead, but it was the big breakthrough for me was in 2010 when I went through a bit of a hard time personally, breakup, heartbroken, and it happened that happened at the same time as I changed job and I changed apartment. There was so many life-changing activities at the same time that really I became very, very turbulent and I became a bit depressed. And I stayed in that dark hole for some time. I mean, months. Had a bit of a pity party for myself. And then I just came to a point where I kind of had enough of that. And I said, look, I need to get through this. So I went to a retreat, which was for personal growth, spiritual retreat. And I would say that that's when I really, when self-awareness came to me. it's really a point in time for me when I went from not being very self-aware at all and becoming, well, much more self-aware. At least I think there's no end to our self-awareness, and that was so important to me. And after that, I became, nicer to myself, nicer to other people, happier, more stable, not connected to things and superficial things, and really choosing my environment more carefully of who I wanted to spend time with. And then that evolved to also include my work life and leadership and how to be a serving leader. And since then, I really never looked back, continuously growing. And I'm naturally passionate about this. So it's not even an effort for me anymore to continue.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, tell us a little bit about your business niche.
Yeah. So, which often happens, you help people that are like where you were some years ago, right?
Hmm.
So I focus very much on helping professionals working in the corporate world who feel stuck, frustrated, many people blaming circumstances, bosses, colleagues, thinking that everything around them is wrong, or they feel maybe that they are inadequate, they never find joy at work. Um, I focus very much on that group to help them really see that they have natural strengths. And when we, first of all, discover them and then decide to focus right there to develop them even further, to give up what we can give best instead of wasting time on trying to be good at things you can never be great at. That's kind of what I'm saying a lot. And then also working with teams and corporations on kind of the same thing, helping teams and companies see the talents they have, but maybe they are using people in the wrong way. What I've seen is that often we move around our staff like chess players. We need somebody here now. We take you instead of looking at what can you really do great and see what the opportunities could be if we used you, I mean, utilized you in the best way.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, you recently left the corporate space,
I
and
did. Yeah.
now you're focused on your business. So the big question is, are you having a lot of fun yet?
Well, I'm having fun because it was such a shift for me. Um, it came earlier than expected, this transition, but I was so ready. So I'm really enjoying each day of, being able to be creative and um, free in my thinking, uh, having fun. Yes, I'm having fun, but I'm not making so much money yet. But I'm building the foundation as it is now. So I'm making enough, but I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm just
Sure.
getting started. Mm. But
Yeah.
definitely, I'm so happy. Mm.
Well, that is awesome. Happiness, you can't buy happiness, right? There's a lot to be said for that. And of course, you continue to do this. I already know you're going to be majorly successful at it. So there's no doubt about that.
Thank you.
So if you think back, when did you decide, I want to be an entrepreneur?
Mm. Late, very late. I didn't grow up thinking that I would be an entrepreneur. I'm not from that type of family or background. My parents have been working for the same employer their whole career in the healthcare. I mean, working in hospitals. So, and I don't know who it was, if it was Obama who said it, or something, but you cannot be what you cannot see. I'm not saying that's 100% true, but oftentimes we have an environment, and that's where I mean, if you have doctors, then you become a doctor, and so on. So, and I didn't really grow up with entrepreneurs around me, but going to the John Maxwell team, also where I met you, meeting people who are actually entrepreneurs doing the things that I love doing and seeing that you can actually make money on it that made my brain start to dream a lot. So I would say it was only seriously, I mean, serious thinking about it 2 years ago only.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, everybody has a point in their life there. They make transitions, whether it's to leave the current company, they wouldn't go to another company, or make that transition from working from someone else to building your own business, right? So we all go through that journey at some point.
Mm.
So what makes you smile when you get up in the morning?
Well, right now it's about the creation process. I'm so much looking forward to this. Like, what could I do today? What can I write? I have something in mind, like I plan something of what I want to do. Um, I have small kids, so the morning is not really like a bliss having my nice cup of coffee, reading the newspaper. It's all about, getting small people to eat, get dressed, and then off to school in time. So it's the nice moment might start after the kids are in school, but it's really about this feeling of freedom right now that makes me smile. Before, when I was working, I would say that it's the moment of meeting the people that really made me smile. I really liked going to the office, being with the people.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always that time where even I think about it from time to time, people that I worked with, right? Some of the people that I worked with, you miss that communication and connection. But I get over it really, really quickly once, I think about the freedom, the flexibility, and all of that type stuff that I have, and I get to meet new people.
Mm.
So, awesome. So I know that a little birdie told me you have an event, a webinar coming up.
Yeah,
And so let's talk a little bit about that. So tell us the name of the webinar, and so let's talk about that a little bit.
yeah. So I'm running a webinar. It's called Discover Your Power. So it's all about that. Basically, I'm helping people discover their powers. We talk a lot about natural strength, but also our natural frustrations. Let's not call it weaknesses, because I think that you can be very good at something. You might have been to school, you're an engineer, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're very skilled at this, but actually it only frustrates you to sit and read those papers or to do the type of jobs. So it's an area of frustrations for you. Or and also talking about the blind spots, things that we don't know. So it's a lot about understanding our own personality, behavior, and how we act, react, and interact with other people. So I'm helping people through this webinar really see how they add value to other people and to teams, but also to see how their colleague, who might have been, more of annoying them, or their boss, to also see the strength in them. So it's very much about seeing how we together, when we come together and do what we do best, how we then can increase productivity, engagement, and so it's about allowing diversity also over the different personality styles, working styles.
Awesome. So the event is going to be June 15th,
Hmm.
right?
It's for
And
free.
go ahead.
It's for free.
Okay. All right. So you have an opportunity to join a no charge webinar June 15th, and it's bethegreenhouse.com.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
So you'll see the link on the screen. It'll also be in the comments, so you can just click on it and go and register for it. And how long is it going to be?
Well, it lasts between 60 and 90 minutes, depending on questions and discussions. Last time I did it was really interactive, so it was about 90 minutes, but it was a lot of questions and great interaction in the chat, and people turned on the microphones as well when they wanted to ask questions. There's one prize, though, to pay if you come from sign up on your side of the Atlantic, is that you have to get up in the morning. The next time I do it on the 15th of June, it's actually going to be lunchtime, my time, which means maybe 6 your time. No, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Is it going to be 5 for you, Cedric?
Okay.
Yeah. but
Okay.
it might come up again.
Well, here's the thing. When you want to grow, time is not going to matter,
Mm.
right? When you're
I'm
looking
sure
for
you don't have anything else in your agenda at that time. No
something,
excuse.
when you're looking for to grow and to get better, time is not going to matter. You will just get up and do it and enjoy. So the target audience is who again?
Well, my target audience is definitely, I mean, professionals in the corporate world, but of course, anyone who wants to understand more on how they add value to other people, anyone who wants to understand more on why some things might frustrate you when somebody else seems to do it with ease. If you want to understand more of this, then you should attend my webinar.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to put that link back up on the screen. It's also in the comments, so you can just click right on the link and sign up and register for this outstanding webinar that my good friend is going to be putting on. So let's keep talking here. So if uh, when you think about people and some people reaching their goals and some people not reaching their goals, what do you think is stopping people from being the best version of themselves?
Mm. I think there's a lot of fear of sticking out, fear of, um, at least we have that much more in Scandinavia. We have this strange thing called the Jante law in Scandinavia, which is like you shouldn't think that you're better than anyone else. We have it very, very strong in us. And I know that in the US, you are better not listening to that type of message, but I think you have that as well. I mean, depending on how you grew up, and maybe it has another saying on your side of the ocean. But fear, fear of success, fear of sticking out, fear of what other people might think. And fear of the unknown, maybe fear of actually working as well. I mean, better safe than sorry. So I'll stay here because I don't know what it would mean if I make a step in this direction. So fear of the
Sure.
unknown. Mm.
Yeah. So and why do you think fear of all of those things, fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of what people are going to say, why do you think so many people let that stop them?
Yeah, I believe that it's the comfort. It's the comfort of, I'm quite fine here. I don't know. It's very much, yeah, the unknown. So better safe than sorry. I think that a lot of people feel that, or um, that the fear of success, fear of failure, which one is stronger? I don't know, but it's better stay here than go on an adventure and fail.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And folks, I want to tell you, look, the law of the rubber band, is one of those laws that we really like to teach and help people better understand why they should get outside that comfort zone and why they should go and do other things and stretch yourself. The law of the rubber band says growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you want to be. And let me show you what that looks like. When you lose the tension between where you are and where you want to be, growth stops. You see, the power in this rubber band is not in its limpness. The power in its rubber band is in its ability to stretch and grow and get bigger and get wider. You see, just like the human mind is designed to stretch and grow. Your mind is designed to do that. Your skills are designed to do that. Your abilities are designed to do that. Everything about you is designed to do that. And so what you have to do is you have to say, you have to ask yourself two questions. One, who stretches me? Who is the person or people or group that stretches me and helps me think differently? Then I need to be around those type people more often. Then the other question you have to ask yourself is, which I have right on this armband, what stretches me, right? What are those things that I can be doing or should be doing every day to stretch me, to help me go to a different level? Then I need to do those more often. You see, but what happens is we get around these certain type of people. I call them average. And remember, folks, average will try to keep you average every day, every time. And then here's what some of the things that average is going to say to you. Girl, why are you working overtime like that? Don't you have a life? Don't you have things to do? Why are you going to that event on a Saturday? Let's go over here and let's go party. Let's go do this. Why, if you're a student, right? Why are you spending time doing all that homework? Don't worry about that. We can do that later. You can, if you make a B, it's okay. See, average will always try to keep you average, folks. So you have to make sure that you block yourself from that average mentality. That you make sure that you cut off those which try to keep you average. Because we know one thing, average does not achieve greatness by being average. So let's keep going, Sophia. If your clients were sitting right here, right now, if I pressed the button and said, ding dong, the doorbell rings, and your client walks through the door, what would they say about you and your service?
Yeah. What I often hear is this, oh, I wish I would have known this before. I wish I would have heard this much earlier when I do the teaching. And then also this feeling of being recognized and seen when I even help them see something of them that they couldn't see, but when I help them see it, it's like, yes, you know? So somehow they think I see something that they haven't seen. It's just that they have been in the wrong trails, so, or in the wrong tracks. Also, they are um, relieved when they understand and hear that, oh, okay, it's normal that some things frustrate me. It's not me. It's what I often say is like, it's not you. You're not lazy or crazy or stupid. It's the context. You're just in the wrong environment. You're just
Right.
doing things that you are not supposed to be doing. And
Yes.
also, I'm not necessarily saying that people have to change job. You might be a miserable doctor. You can still be a doctor, but maybe you need to practice your profession in a different way.
Well, that is definitely something that I think that people should pay more attention to. Their level of happiness in their job, and not only that, but what are they doing to make that experience more enjoyable for themselves? Right? We just can't expect that everybody else is going to make it exciting for us. Maybe we need to, like you said, the doctor, practice in a different way. Um, so, what's one thing that's interesting and fun about you?
Yeah, I find it so difficult to say. I mean, I guess what's interesting or sticks out a bit is that I have been working and studying in so many different countries. And yeah, my husband is from Senegal. My kids, they speak four languages so far, and they are only 4 and 7. So it's probably that I live in a very international environment. That is something that I start to take almost for granted because I live in Luxembourg, where almost everyone has kind of the same type of background. But I realize that when I go back home to Sweden, or you know, even going to wherever, most people are not having that same um, you know pieces of the world. So I
Hmm.
guess that makes me a bit interesting, maybe. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, yeah, it's definitely interesting that you've lived in multiple countries, and you said, hey, your kids already know four different languages. They're 4 and 7. I'm 54, and I know one. So,
You see.
I like that. So tell us. So let's say the husband's not home, the kids are not home. It's just you and your four walls. What dessert are you going to eat?
Oh, dessert. Well, I have this like the phases. So right now I'm in this like I want to have it. There's a French pastry called millefeuille. It's called Thousand Layers. It's like a flaky pastry with vanilla custard in between the flakes and then icing on top. it's called millefeuille in French. I don't know what you call it in the US, but that is like right
That's
now my a bit of an obsession.
okay. All right. Well, everybody has that sweet tooth, and they have that go too. So it's always
Yeah,
interesting. What's been your biggest challenge doing your entrepreneurial journey so far?
I guess I'm inside. I'm in right in it right now. So like figuring out, how things gonna make sense. I want to do so many different things, different teachings, but I want it to make sense. I don't want to be too scattered. So that, and also, fixing my daily schedule, coming from the corporate world where you actually have a background, a schedule, um, where you're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time and meeting people. And right now with COVID, not setting up those type of meetings with people yet. So getting started, building the foundation, building my routine, and setting the strategy, I guess.
Okay. All right. All right. So, leaders come, Sophia, in with different strengths and different backgrounds. What give us two or three strengths that you believe that all leaders should have?
Yeah. So authenticity, it's so extremely important. Authenticity, listening, and having, I mean, feeling love for the people. I mean, value. I guess we say valuing people, because if you, and all these three things are probably very connected. But I think that if you don't practice those things as a leader, then what do you have you the day you need people, with the day things go wrong, the day you need help, if you have not been authentic, if you haven't been showing people that you care, if you haven't been listening. So start there and the rest will come, I think.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Um, there's always going to come that day you're going to need them, whether it's that you're going to need their help making your number. You're going
Mm.
to need them to help finish up a project on time. You're going to need them to help you with something. So they need to know that you're there for them so that they
Mm.
can be there for you
Yeah.
in those moments. Right. So good leaders ask great questions. What are a couple of questions, two or three questions that you think are great questions? Either you ask those questions or someone has asked you those questions and you went, man, that's a great question.
Mhm. I think that there's a question that I like to ask that tells a lot about people's values and their ambitions. And it's just very simple. It's like, who do you look up to and why? And if you get people talking around that, then you can get a lot of information out that will tell you a lot about them. Like, who do you look up to and why, and what it is. And then also asking people what they were good at or really enjoyed doing when they were young. That is also saying a lot about people, which they don't even realize themselves. It says a lot about them today. So I guess I like to, discover who people are when I ask them questions, like really get into the core of it.
Awesome. I like it. I like it. I like both of those questions. I'll have to put those on my list. Those are good questions. Thank you. So many times, Sophia, new entrepreneurs they want to give up or they want to throw in the towel just because they got that pushback or they heard the words no, right? So what advice would you give to someone right now if they're questioning whether they should give up or keep going?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm a sucker for self awareness. So first of all, do you know why you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you know why you want to do this? And I think that, we have discussed before. I'm reading the E Myth, that if we want to start a business if we want to start a bakery because we really like to bake, then maybe you can go and work somewhere else. But if it is because you really want to give people the experience of these great cakes, there's something about the serving in it, then you have it. But if it's only about, you know, working, then maybe it's not for you. So I think that the self-awareness of really understanding why you want to build a business helps. But if you then come to the point where, no, I want to be an entrepreneur because there is a dream there, there is something I want to serve, I want to give people something, then take help from others, take help from experts. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to do things on your own that others can help you with.
Yes, you hit on several points there that I want to follow up on, but I want to follow up also on, I got it right here, e-myth, because we're going to talk about that in just a second. So, but you said, hey, don't try to necessarily reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you have to know that you can't do it by yourself, right? The law of significance, right? One is too small a number to achieve greatness, right? These are laws, folks, that principles that Sophia and I teach on a regular basis to help entrepreneurs, to help business leaders, to help executive leaders, anyone better understand how to achieve great things. I'm going to say it again very slowly. The law of significance. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. Write it down, hang it up, post it on your door, post it on your computer, put it somewhere where you can see it every day so that you understand that you can do some good things by yourself, but you can do some great things with others. And that's what Sophia was hitting on. But you said something so ever slightly about the E-Myth. So I think you said you're reading the E-Myth currently, right?
Yeah.
So the E-Myth is a book that we're
So
taking also some entrepreneurs through that book. So tell us a little bit about what you like about the book.
yeah, I like it. I mean, I was telling a friend about the book, and my friend was like, "Yeah, it's kind of, there's no news in that one, but still, it's something in the way he has written it that, and also where I am right now in building up my business, that really helped me see, the three different types that you have in yourself, and
Mhm.
how you need to find a balance if you're going to be an entrepreneur. You cannot only have the one working and producing. You also have to have the manager who organizes things and making sure that you follow a schedule and a strategy. And you have to have the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur has to live on. You cannot, if you take this with a bakery, you cannot be the one who only ends up baking the cakes without thinking new, without thinking on expanding, without thinking on who could I hire that could do this while I am being an entrepreneur. So it made me rethink certain things, that it's not only about, sitting and doing the administration. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Absolutely. You need that person that's going to do the work. You need that person that's going to be the operations person. Then you need that person that's going to be the strategic thinker, right? Yeah, it's a really good book. We're actually taking a group of entrepreneurs through that book right
Mm.
now as well. So awesome! Thanks for mentioning that book. It's a great book. If you haven't read the book, folks, you need to go get that book. I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice if you've not read the E-Myth. So we have a session on the show that we call a segment on the show that we call Would You Rather? All right. So we're going to play a little bit of Would You Rather. So, would you rather meet your great grandparents or your great grandchildren?
Oh, oh my God. Great grandparents.
Great grandparents. All right. And audience, you can participate with us. Just put your answers in the comments. All right. Would you rather have more time or more money?
Money.
Okay. Would you rather have a
But I would
life?
outsource.
Okay. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
Paul, oh, these are tricky questions.
All
Luckily, I don't
right.
have to choose.
Okay. All right. So, would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
I didn't hear the last.
Would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
Hmm. Speak with animals.
Speak with animals. All right. So, would you rather get stuck in an elevator or get stuck on a ski lift?
Elevator.
Okay. Would you rather go to dinner alone or to a concert alone?
Dinner alone.
Dinner alone. All right. Would you rather be an adult your whole life or a kid your whole life?
Adult.
An adult. All right. Couple more here. Would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
Wish. I don't have
Wish.
regret.
Okay. All right. Would you rather own a private island or a private jet?
Island.
Island. All right. So would you rather have free Apple products forever or have free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Free Wi-Fi wherever I go.
Okay. All right. Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
Ninja.
A ninja. All right. Last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
Yeah, you can buy a lot on Amazon. I'll take it.
Yes, absolutely. I'll take it too. Well, thank you for playing that round of Would You Rather.
Thank you so much.
So, why is it important for people, Sophia, to allow themselves to continue to grow?
What's the option? Like, if not growing. For me, it's it would be a nightmare to think that if I come to May 2022 and I'm exactly the same person that I am today, that's really frightening for me. We have to grow, and that's a, that's how we live. I I I, I really don't see. It almost gives me bad feeling. I'm not growing.
I understand. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So, if someone wanted to keep in contact with you, how would they do that?
Well, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I am also on Facebook, Messenger. There are many ways to contact me. So down here, I think there is a link to LinkedIn. Send me a message if you're curious about me. I'm getting more and more active on LinkedIn, and there you see more of my messages. I post videos as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're again. Let's go back to your webinar. It's coming up on June 15th. The link is on the screen. It's also in the chat. So make sure you register for that on June 15th. I'm telling you, folks, you're going to learn some stuff that you don't know today. You're going to
Yeah,
stretch yourself. You're going to get to hear from my good friend here, and you'll make a new connection, right? If anything else, nothing else works out, at least you'll make a new connection, expand your limits of growth, and do something a little bit different outside of your comfort zone.
absolutely. Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome. I like that. So, you've had a lot of success in your life, but if you, when you think about, hey, I have failed at something, tell us one thing you failed at and the lesson that you learned from
Mm. I think that failure for me would mean that I would sit with shame and regret. And I have a difficulties thinking of that, but if I would sit with shame and regret, it's probably if I wouldn't have been honest. That is so important to me. And what I'm still working on is more of the honesty towards myself. So when I fail, I can often see that there is a pattern of me not expressing something that I want to do or expressing something that is important to me. So I am procrastinating informing people about something that I want to do. So this is something I'm still working on. So if there's a therapist out there, you know how to contact me. Maybe you have an answer because I'm still trying to figure out what this is. So it is that if I haven't told my husband yet that I have an important event, maybe I need to leave, the family a couple of days or going to, that I'm procrastinating telling him about that because I'm so afraid of, maybe he has something or that he will be like, oh, or telling my manager previously that I want to do a training and there's a chance that I would get a rejection or a no on that. Then I procrastinate this question until it's almost too late. So there is some sort of honesty or taking my piece of, I don't know what this is, but here it's about honesty. So failure, and I see that this is causing me problems sometimes. So that is maybe a failure where I'm trying to, be more quick on telling people. You see, this is still work in progress.
Okay. All right.
But I think for me, failure is really when you sit with shame and regret. You can, things can happen, but if it doesn't leave you with shame and regret, is it really a failure?
Okay. Gotcha. Definitely understand that. So my last question for you is, if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title of the book be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
Mm. I think there's something about this, how to see the best in people. Maybe that's the title, how to see the best in people. And then how I went from being a person who was, as a child and a teenager, very obsessed with, um, opposition with other, girls and thinking that other people are the opponents or there is something to look down on others or that they look down on you, always thinking there's some sort of antagonist relationship till now where I really learned that we are all one and that there is, we need each other and there's no competition. It's only working together. So that is probably something.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Well, I've enjoyed you being on the show today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. Folks, I want to tell you, that you need to go and register for this webinar on June 15th, right? BeTheGreenhouse.com. You'll see the link on the page. You'll see the link in the comments. Go ahead and register for that today. Share it with a friend. You may know someone. Maybe you don't need it, but you know someone that needs this. Share it with them so that they can get it. Don't block their blessings, right? God put it into your awareness, your consciousness today for you to do something with it. So take an action step today and do something with it. Connect with Sophia on LinkedIn. You'll see her link, her LinkedIn link there. You'll see in the comments as well. Just click on it and connect with her. She's an awesome person, and I'm sure that you guys will help each other grow, get bigger, get better, get faster, get stronger, all of those things, folks. And this is really what we try to do here at Talk Leadership with Cedrick. And, there is a story that I want to leave you with today. And the story is really about blind spots. We all have blind spots from time to time. And I want you to understand that you have to always take the total picture in mind. There's a middle-aged guy who went into this cocktail lounge and he went right up to the bartender and he asked, "Do you have anything to cure hiccups?" Well, the bartender thought about it for a little bit, and he says, "Well, I do." And without saying any further words, the bartender reached down under the bar and he picked up this real wet bar rag and he just smacked the guy across the face with it. Well, the guy was stunned and looked at him and he said, That should do it. That's what the bartender showed him. That should do it. Do you have hiccups now is what he asked him. And the man says, no, but I never had hiccups. My wife's in a car and she's the one that has the hiccups. You see, you must understand the total picture before you act or respond to anything. So folks, again, let me tell you, Sophia, thanks for coming on the show. Hopefully you had a good time.
Absolutely. This was so great, Cedric. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Awesome. So folks, tomorrow night we'll have another show on Talk Leadership with Cedrick. So tune in to see our guests. And as I tell you every week before we end the show, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to you tuning in to the next show, and we will see you next week. Thank you guys, and good night.